Alright, what's up guys? This is part 2 of this LS build. Let's start throwing in the cam, start putting the heads on, sealing up this whole thing, and just assembling the entire motor. So let's get to it. Alright, so I picked up a new timing chain, got some new bolts for it, and the chain itself. So let's get this thing installed, throw the cam in, oil everything up, put this thing on, set the timing, and we'll go from there. I run ARP bolts for the cam retainer, and I just got a new one from Molly. It's got the new gasket on here. Let's get all this installed. Alright, so I got the sprocket in place with the chain. Let's put some thread lock on these bolts, torque them down, and we should be good with timing. So for these bolts, they're supposed to be torqued to 26 foot-pounds. Rotate the motor a few times just to make sure everything lines up. Perfect, just like that. Awesome. So that should be good. Cam is fully installed. Alright, so my oil pump is still on its way, so I'm just gonna install that later. I'm gonna first get the heads on. Before we do that, we have to install the lifters. They're already like soaked in oil from when they get sent out brand new. Running the just the BTR LS7 lifters. Also got new trays from Brian Tooley, and got new push rods. So I had all this stuff measured at a machine shop. I'm running this the stock length, the 7.4. So yeah, everything was checked out, so that's going to be the correct push rod length for this build. Alright, so I have the lifters just like soaked in oil. I'll throw them on the trays and get them installed. There it goes. Fits nice and snug. So set the torque wrench to 106 inch-pounds. Yeah, so I'm running the Felpro gaskets, which this is pretty good because it's multi-layered. It's not like that composite garbage. Alright, put that on there, just like that. Boom. And the last torque setting is 80 foot-pounds. Let's get this wrench set up. Alright, send it. Alright, so I just installed the oil pump. I'm going to put the bolts in, add a little bit of thread lock, and tighten the bolts to 18 foot-pounds. Better install the pickup tube. Soak up this thing in oil. The Put a little bit of thread lock. You don't have to, but I like to do it anyway. Crank this piece to 240 foot-pounds. Let's go. 240. Spin. More. Don't forget. Ready? Ah! Heck yeah. 240 foot-pounds. If you guys watched my last video, we were just at Ozark Shred Fest. Pretty sick track. This thing drove awesome. Didn't have any issues at all. So this car, it's gonna be the last time you're gonna see this thing with the BMW engine. I'm gonna be pulling the motor out. So let's get this thing off the trailer, start draining the coolant, some of the fluids, throw this thing on the lift, and we're just gonna start pulling the motor out of this thing. So let's just get to it. There it is, guys. The motor's finally out. Engine bay is a little bit dirty, but it's no worries. We'll get it all cleaned up. Yeah, this motor's been good to me. It's been running awesome. I'm gonna be throwing this thing in my E30. But I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. So for tomorrow, I'm gonna take off this transmission, maybe power wash it, kind of clean it up, start getting it prepped for the LS. Yo, my throwout bearing is shot. Look at this. Dog, that's crazy. Running a Sachs clutch with the flywheel. I wonder why this bearing. Probably all those kicks, man. That's insane. Alright, so I'm going to be running the Pennsyltucky engine mounts. I got two of these. So this is their latest version. This is the version 3. They have version 2, which is the exact same thing, but they have, like, it's not slotted like this. It just has like the perfect hole for the engine block. But what's nice about these is these are slotted, and with the engine mounts on, I could slide the engine forward or backwards about, what, 2 inches, which is nice because that's what is going to help me use the stock BMW transmission and stock trans brace and drive shaft. They come in bare steel. I'm just going to throw some quick paint on it real quick. Let's get that done and let's let that dry up while we work on installing the transmission onto the motor. So I'm going to be running the PMC adapter. This thing is actually pretty sweet. It's got a custom machine flywheel. Look how thick that thing is. It's got to account for all the stacking that we're going to be doing. So it's got a flywheel. So I ordered this all from Drift HQ, so shout out to them. They provide a clutch with and pressure plate with this kit. I don't know, this thing is going to be kind of tough. It's an unsprung 6-puck clutch. I don't know, it should hold out to like, I think it's like 500 foot-pounds of torque, which is honestly I don't think the motor is gonna see that much, so it should be good. Sachs pressure plate. Let's look at the adapter itself. Yeah, so this is the adapter. That is sweet. All right, so one bolts to the engine, one bolts to the transmission, and it's just sandwiches together. Bunch of hardware. So let's just get it installed. I'm not gonna be talking too much, so let's get this thing on here. Transmission on, clutch, flywheel, all that good stuff. And hopefully we'll actually toss this thing in today, so let's get to it. We just finished bolting up this adapter. Everything looks sick, everything lined up. I threw in the new pivot bearing, pivot joint that they provide with the adapter. Got our new throwout bearing on here. All right, this transmission is ready to get installed. So let's get this thing installed onto the motor. Motor is in. All right, guys, just finished putting the motor in. Yo, I am exhausted. These headers were such a pain to put them in because I have the steering column, the mount, and the header. The header was kind of hitting, because the thing is I'm using the stock location for the transmission to use the brace and the drive shaft and everything. And with these pencil tucky mounts, they do work, like they slide around and everything, but the CX Racing header, it was hitting the mount, so I had to kind of just smack it in with the hammer just to give us somewhat clearance. And with the PMC adapter, it was hitting in that little area too, so I just kind of hit it in with the hammer. Other than that, everything fits super tight in here. I don't know if I'm gonna delete ABS or not. It does clear, but just to kind of work around in this area with like changing a plug out or coil packs or anything, or wires or anything, this whole system is just going to be in the way, so I might just get rid of it, honestly. This side looks so clean, but yo, finally we got the V8 in here, dudes. Heck yeah. I think that's probably it for this video. Next video I'm going to start kind of buttoning everything up and just maybe start with the wiring, start with just everything else, intake, all the front accessories. All right, and that's pretty much it. So if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up, sub to my channel. There's gonna be a bunch more content on this car. Obviously, with this new build, I'm gonna be posting a lot more drifting videos, and I'm gonna be attending a lot more events, hopefully this year. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.